how we got there. Back in the 1980s, football had a serious image problem. The sport was plagued by violence, pitch invasions and beer-fuelled chaos. From fan riots at the 1980 Scottish Cup final to the Heysel disaster years later, things were unsafe and the consequences were disastrous. Then in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed, especially since other sports don't face the same restrictions. If you're popping down to watch the Red Roses roar at Twickenham, feel free to grab a pint on the way to your seat. Wandering down to Lord's to catch some boundary bashing? Fill your boots with G&Ts. But if you are hoping to cheers your club's promotion to the Premier League with a Prosecco in hand from pitchside, sorry, it'll have to be tea or Bovril. In 2021, it looked like things might finally change. The government commissioned the Crouch Report, a fan-led review into football governance. One recommendation was to allow League Two and National League clubs to lift the alcohol ban to boost matchday revenue. But nothing came of it. Authorities still weren't convinced that fans could be trusted. And then in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL 2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. Now, the women's game is raising the bar, literally. Select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move showing ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Good morning. You are listening to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Katie Shanahan. How are you doing this morning? Are you on your way to work? Are you walking the dogs, perhaps? Or are you just waking up with talkSPORT potentially just bubbling away in the background? Good to have your company this morning. We are building up to the breakfast show, which is coming up for you at 6 a.m. with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoist. They will be getting into, well, Celtic's disastrous result away at Lask. I'm sure Ali will be winding Alan up all the morning, who's, I'm sure, not very happy with that result. We'll get into all of that very shortly. Then at 10 a.m, Jim White and Simon John will be joined by Danny Murphy today. But Nick, what have we got coming up over the next hour?
Good morning, Katie. Yeah, we'll start with Celtic's nightmare in Austria. What happened? We'll get into that. We've got Oliver Glasner on a few boos at Nottingham Forest, asking for time there as they've lost twice to Leeds in 4 days. We'll hear from Joe Root, who's hacked off about all the drinking in the England cricket team. And we're asking, Liam Delap going to Forest for £45 million. When have you massively overpaid for something? Get in touch. Get involved on the usual number, 03717 223344. Send us a text or please a voice note.
Yeah, we love voice notes, don't we? We've had a few really good ones on the show.
81089 for your voice notes.
Okay, let's get into the show.
I bought an expensive umbrella once, regretted it.
For an umbrella, how much are we talking?
I think it was about 30 quid or something. You know, when you need one and then you think, oh, I'll buy a nice one. Why bother buying a nice umbrella?
Was it a big one?
It wasn't even that big. It had a little mechanism, you know, it goes, shoots out.
Yeah. Yeah, they're fun though.
I ended up leaving it at a friend's house and then, so yeah.
Always the way with umbrellas, isn't it?
Massively overpaid for that umbrella. What do you think about 45 million quid for Liam Delap?
Well, I'm also reading, 50 million in a couple of places.
There's some add-ons, are there?
Some add-ons, I think.
Yeah.
50 mil.
Because he needs to score more than the one goal he managed last season.
2 goals.
Oh, sorry. I was talking Premier League goals.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, fine. Yeah, scored 2 goals in 41 Chelsea appearances last season. But yeah, that's Chelsea bought him for 30 million a year ago, so they could bank 20 million profit.
I mean, he had that great season for Ipswich, but at times just looked a little bit lost. I hope he does well because, England needs some strikers.
Yeah.
Who's the next Harry Kane? We thought maybe for a while it was going to be Liam Delap. Not sure about that now.
Ollie Watkins?
Brian Maggio. Watkins is off to Saudi. He's given up.
Ivan Toney was allowed back into the England squad, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, we're thinking about the future. Watkins is, 28, 29?
Cole Palmer, when he went from Man City to Chelsea, 40 million plus 2.5 in add-ons. That was back in 2023.
There's no point trying to make sense of the transfer market.
I know.
That's what I always say.
Because it makes no sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. It's just all about supply and demand. I mean, Forest obviously got rid of Taiwo Awoniyi and they were happy to let him go. He wanted to, have a bit of a lead the line there at Coventry. So they need a striker in there. And a bit of unrest at the City ground. Apparently there were a few boos ringing around last night after they lost 2-0 to Leeds at home in the Carabao Cup. So they're out of that. I thought Glasner was supposed to be the cup master. He's got a job on his hands.
2 games in.
Yeah.
No, give him time. I mean, he's won 3 trophies in 12 months. I mean, he deserves time.
Oh, he's a fantastic manager. But yeah, will he get time under Evangelos Marinakis?
He loves him.
Not sure about that. We'll see. Have you ever massively overpaid for something? Have a think about it.
Yeah, I will have a think about it.
All right.
Yeah, probably like handbags and stuff like that. But I don't know, sometimes even just in an impulsive mood, you're like, yeah, why not?
But if it's a good handbag...
Well, when you go, I'm going to treat myself.
It's all right to pay top dollar for something that's good quality.
Great quality.
You get used to it.
I'm finding I'm doing that as I'm getting older. I'm buying less, but they're better quality. Cause then And also, about my handbag. It probably takes about 40 kilos. And it was the only handbag that could take that amount of stuff.
What have you got in there?
Oh, everything. Honestly, that handbag gets more attention than I do. Every time someone goes, would you like me to carry it? I go, honestly, you do not want to hold this bag.
Is it heavy? Does it give you like a dodgy shoulder?
Yeah.
I
think I've got drop shoulder because of it.
Yeah. We should go around in back. Why aren't women wearing backpacks?
No, because then that also gave me shoulder problems. So I'm back with my very, very big handbag.
Yeah, it can't be good for you. Honestly,
it goes all around the country, all around the world. Me in this little bag.
Yeah.
We're best pals.
All right. What have you overpaid for? 81089. Do send us a voice note because we love hearing your voices.
Yes, we do. Nick Ellaby, thanks very much for now. Right. Let's get into Celtic's game last night. Wow, was this the worst result in Celtic's history? Martin O'Neill did warn about this last week. Despite taking a 3-0 lead to Lask in the Champions League qualifying, the Austrian side did the unthinkable. Here's how the result was received on last night's sports bar. Here we go.
Oh, no!
Rise, I'm going to have to stop. Got to go back to Paul Mitchell.
Unbelievable in Austria. Lask have scored again. They lead Celtic by 5-1. Samuel Adeniran, who scored earlier on in the second half. Brilliant shot from outside the box. He got the opportunity. Celtic thought they'd got the ball clear, but they had their pocket picked. And I'll tell you what, it's a brilliant effort all the way into the corner, past the diving Vili Sinisalo. As it stands, Celtic are crashing out of the Champions League. Lask 5, Celtic 1, 5-4 in aggregate to the Austrians.
Wow. OMG. Wow.
OMG. Amazeballs. I'm surprised Jason didn't say that. Well, Celtic, wow, what happened here? They're out of the Champions League at the same stage, losing 5-4 on aggregate. I watched all the highlights, all of the goals. And to be fair, Lask put some beauties in. Celtic also lost to Karat Almaty, the Kazakhstan side, this time last year as well. Celtic scored first, but then went on to blow a 4-goal lead. A real shame because there's now no Scottish representation in the group stages of the Champions League. Celtic then, as a result, drop into the Europa League. And Celtic supporting Alan Brazil, who might be actually listening on his way in now, will be on breakfast this morning, alongside the Rangers legend, of course, Annie McCoist. So that should be a fun listen for you this morning, which is coming up at 6 a.m. Meanwhile, all sorts going on last night as the Premier League sides entered the Carabao Cup, and talkSPORT was, of course, right across the action.
It's helped on again, flicked on towards the far post, and they bundled it in. Yes, they have. They double their lead. 2-0 the score. I think it's James Justin that is taking the acclaim. Nottingham Forest beating the League Cup again, and a few isolated boos from the home faithful here on Trentside.
Birmingham 1, Brentford 6. This isn't men against boys, it's men against amoebas.
Nunes has gone for the long shot, and he has scored. Well, that has to be easily 45 yards from goal.
Absolute magic from Nunes, honestly.
Ipswich 3, Leicester 1.
And the home fans are leaving in their droves. Southampton 1, West Ham 4. Jarrod Bowen scored in the last round. He's done it again here.
Watford 1, Peterborough United 5. An outstanding Peterborough display, abundant in attacking quality. You'd have been forgiven for thinking they were the championship side.
Yeah, plenty of drama in the Carabao Cup last night. West Ham with a much-needed 4-1 win over Southampton. Ipswich beating Leicester City 3-1. Did you see the goal that Marcelino Nunes scored? His second of the night. 45 yards out. A thing of beauty. Definitely worth a watch. That was some finish. Coventry beat Plymouth 4-2 to progress and go through. And fresh from beating Manchester United at the weekend, Hull City beat Stoke 5-4 on penalties. As for the City Ground, well, it was another defeat for Oliver Glasner's Nottingham Forest, as they have now lost to Leeds twice in 4 days, this time 2-0. Glasner told talkSPORT that Forest need to face facts, that there are going to need to be improvements, but they're going to take a little bit of time.
And we play for winning the league, you know. It's we have to accept the reality. The reality was, I think, position 16, 10 or 9 months playing against not getting relegated. That was the reality, and then it's not a new manager comes in, and now everything works. Yeah, no, it's just the players who can change it. We can support them. We will support them, but we need every single one. We need to work together. We need to stick together. That's what we did so far. But again, it's a process. We are still at the beginning of our process.
Well, it sounds like the fans will need to be patient, but they're in good hands, aren't they, with Oliver Glasner? This is a manager who won 3 trophies in 12 months with Crystal Palace, created so many memories there, and we're only a few games in. Give him time. Let's not jump the gun here. And Oliver Glasner, they've got a really good manager there, so I think they'll be fine. What a result for League One Peterborough, though, who battered Championship side Watford 5-1. And we caught up with the, as you would expect, delighted posh manager Luke Williams.
We had to work really, really hard to try and deny the space, because they're so talented. They move the ball so quickly. They're brave to take the ball under pressure in pockets of space, but we had to work so hard to shut that out. And then we were so brave and direct to break and go forward, and then we had a chance to try and control the game. We tried to control the possession as much as we could, so very, very impressed with the boys tonight.
OK, so that was Luke Williams there. As for the rest of the Carabao Cup, that will return to talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2 tonight. We've got Spurs against Charlton. Spurs will want to bounce back from that horrendous defeat to Brighton. And Newcastle are also in action against West Brom. Live on the network for you tonight. Sorry, yes. Also, don't worry, Nottingham Forest fans. Tottenham lost to Brentford last night, at the weekend, rather. Don't worry, Nottingham Forest fans, reinforcements are arriving, but is £45 million too much for Liam Delap? We understand that's what Forest are paying Chelsea for the 23-year-old striker who scored 1 goal in 28 games last season. Former Forest and Ipswich defender Luke Chambers told us that Delap will be a good addition to Glasner's squad.
I think he will be a success. Listen, going into Chelsea at the time he did wasn't a massive opportunity that he probably couldn't turn down. I think his form for Ipswich Town at the time was probably the one shining light for that Ipswich Town team throughout that relegation season, and he certainly didn't pull up. He pulled up every single tree he possibly could to get himself on the map, and he certainly did that, but it obviously hasn't gone to plan at Chelsea, but coming out of probably that spotlight, coming to Forest, where I believe he'll be adored, because I think the fans, as well as everyone inside the club, know, like I mentioned earlier, they need more than just Chris Wood and Igor Jesus up top as well, trying to carry some of the goal threat. But to have him and the way he plays will certainly complement Chris Wood. He's full of running, full of energy, and he'll be desperate to impress.
Yes, so let's see what happens. A good fit for Nottingham Forest, you would think. He was great at Ipswich, wasn't he? Dropped off at Chelsea. Only 2 goals in 41 Chelsea appearances last season, but good business by Chelsea. Right, today we are asking you this morning, when have you massively overpaid for something? Lots of texts already coming in on this. I'll read those after the break. 81089 03717 223344. It's 5:15. Up next, we'll get into the best of the back pages, and you can win a trip to Australia for the Ashes. Good morning.
Yeah, fair play to Hull. I think Sergei Yakirovich is going to prove to be a very tactically astute manager. He's got Dean Holden as his assistant, obviously a boyhood United fan, but he was absolutely buzzing with that win over his club, and they deserved it, Hull. I thought they were brilliantly organised. I've pretty much been the only pundit on talkSPORT saying I think they've got a chance of staying up, and maybe people will come round to that way of thinking now. But the lack of energy, effort and endeavour from those Manchester United players is unforgivable. The bare minimum away from home against a newly promoted team on the opening day of the season, you have to match their levels of commitment. And these United players did not do that. And is it a surprise? You look at people like Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw, these players have been part of the problem for too long, haven't they?
So is Carlos Baleba the answer to your problems then? And is it going to happen, Crookie?
It's going to happen. I'm told it could even be announced as early as today. Whether he's the answer or not, I don't know, because you look at United defensively, so poor. The 2 goals they conceded. I've mentioned Shaw already. They definitely need an upgrade in the left-back department. It seems to be every summer they target one area of the team, the United hierarchy. Last summer it was the forward line, obviously bringing Cunha and Mbumo and Šeško. This time it's 3 midfielders. Tielemans miles off the pace for me at Hull, and Santos didn't cover himself in glory, but hopefully from United's perspective they'll improve. They've got to work on that defence. You know, I don't trust any of the central defenders, to be honest. I know they've got Martinez and De Ligt to come back, but can they stay fit? History tells us probably not. Lenny Yoro's not ready yet, nor is Heaven on what we saw at the weekend. And as I say, Maguire's been there a long time now. You can't question his
Good morning, I'm Katie Shanahan and this is Early Sports Breakfast. Good to have you company this Wednesday morning. How are you doing? It's hump day, halfway through the week. That's actually my last show of the week. Yes, we've got plenty to get into. Worst result in Celtic's history. Do you see this? Celtic were 4-0 up on aggregate and then they went on to lose 5-1 to Lask out in Austria. So it means they're out of the Champions League. They drop into the Europa League, which means no Scottish representation in the group stage of the Champions League this year. Oliver Glasner is asking for time, as Nottingham Forest, they lost to Leeds again for the second time in a couple of days. That was in the Carabao Cup. And is Liam Delap worth around £50 million? It's after he signed for Nottingham Forest. On the talkSPORT Breakfast Show this morning, it'll be an entertaining one for you. Alan Brazil and Ali McCoist, especially after Celtic losing. I'm sure Ali will be winding Alan up this morning. They'll also be getting into England cricket's drinking problem. They'll also be joined by Joe Root's dad, Matt. That'll be really interesting. And as that seems to roll on the back page of the Times, Cast leaves Root feeling hacked off. Well, a few more things you need to know about this Wednesday morning. Bruno Fernandes was voted PFA Player of the Year at a ceremony in Manchester last night. He beat Erling Haaland and Declan Rice to the award. Man City's Khadija Bunny Shaw took the Women's PFA award. Man City made it a double win as Nico O'Reilly was voted PFA Young Player of the Year. And also, as I was just saying there, Joe Root's confident that England's test team can improve their public image. This is after another off-field controversy. Fast bowler Bryden Cast has been dropped for this week's second test against Pakistan after being pictured in handcuffs. This was outside a bar in Derby on Saturday. Root says he's committed to changing the culture alongside the incoming head coach, Stephen Fleming.
We want to create something that we can be proud of and people that follow us can be proud of. We want the supporters to look at us and not just revere what we do on the field but off it as well. And I think over the next little while, as leader of this team, with Stephen and with the group of players themselves, is creating something that is just that.
Well, for more on all the day's biggest stories, all you need to do is go to talksport.com. And remember, TalkSport is now available to watch live in more places than ever before, including Samsung TV Plus. Tune in to us there for our round-the-clock coverage of this new Premier League season. That's Samsung TV Plus for TalkSport Plus for all the sports you know and love. Just watch there. Right, you ready for a trip of the lifetime? We're sending you and a mate down under.
The 150th anniversary test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army.
Now imagine this, being in Melbourne next March, watching England take on Australia at the 150th test match. This is completely on us too. This is thanks to Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. UNMH could win the ultimate 7-night all-inclusive trip to Melbourne. We are talking return flights, match tickets for all 5 days, an exclusive function with cricket legends and a tour of the Great Ocean Road. So for your chance to win, all you need to do is go to talksportwin.com or you can text WIN to 83338 now. This is by 6 p.m. on the 1st of September. Texts cost £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or send your name and number by post to Comp2 PO Box 3190 Colchester CO2 8GP to arrive by midnight on the 4th of September 2026. 18 plus, UK residents only. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com, and a very good luck.
The 150th anniversary test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army.
Okay, here we go. We're talking about Brentford now. Brentford's incredible start to the season continues. This is following their 3-0 win over Spurs in the Premier League, even though I said Brighton earlier. That was my brain not working this morning. Free transfer Callum Wilson opened the scoring as the Bees battered Birmingham 6-1 away in the Carabao Cup. And as you can imagine, Keith Andrews was over the moon.
No, I'm really pleased, obviously. Make 8 changes to the team, but didn't really blink an eyelid with that, such as the quality of our squad and the competition for places at the moment. We're bringing in top players that show that on a daily basis, and the way we approach the game, again, is nothing that surprises me. It's how we train, it's how we play. We had to overcome a very competitive Birmingham side in the first half. You got to earn the right to play here, as you well know. I've been coming in for a long time. I thought we did that really well. We respected the opposition, respected the environment, respected the competition that we were in, obviously, and we showed what we're about.
Yeah, well done to Brentford. The Carabao Cup returns to TalkSport and TalkSport 2 tonight. We've got Spurs against Charlton and Newcastle against West Brom, which is live for you on the network tonight. We're also asking you, when was the last time you paid for something outrageous? This is where we are talking about Liam Delap going for up to £50 million. Do you think he's overpaid? Do you think he's worth that? Well, we've had plenty of texts coming in this morning. Thank you so much from Dave from Sutton. Good morning, Dave. He says, I was at Silverstone for the Formula One in 2025 when the weather was atrocious. The heavens opened and all they had left in the merchandise store was an Aston Martin raincoat, £240, and some umbrellas. As a Ferrari fan, I had to go for one of the umbrellas. Well, I don't blame you, especially if it was pouring down. And I had to pay £50 for it and £90 for an official Formula One backpack to keep my programme dry. That's from Dave and Sutton. And also we've had this. Hi, Katie. I'm massively overpaid for the first wife. she bled me dry for years. Should have got a receipt. I don't think you could get a receipt for that. Paul, the still happy Spurs fan. Oh, well done. One of very few from Holland-on-Sea. That's quite good. Right, it's time now to take a look at the back pages.
Right, We're in. Shout out to Tommy and Chris as well. A lot of shouts for expensive ex-wives and also kids.
Expensive ex-wives. What, Ray Party Parlour, I'm surprised hasn't texted in this morning.
We promised not to mention your team on the show today. We're doing pretty well, so there's a moratorium.
Yeah, we've had a couple of texts saying this can't be Arsenal FM.
Well, you just said that, Kate. £1 in the jar.
Oh, I can't say that word, can I?
Cannot say it. Well, we can talk about some of the other big six clubs. Liverpool in crunch talks with PSG over Bradley Barcola, looking for a left winger there.
He's not worth that. I'm sorry.
I thought he actually. I know we're not allowed to mention them, but I thought actually Barcola would do pretty well at your club. But Solis looking all right, isn't he?
135 million. I mean, he is a formidable player.
Sensational player. He works really hard off the ball as well. That's the thing about Barcola.
135 though. Pounds. We're not talking euros because he's coming from PSG.
What did they say to you at the top of the show? Don't try and make sense of the transfer market.
Oh, this is true.
On the subject of that, Roberto De Zerbi paid, Spurs, £85 million package for Savinho.
Well, he's not called Savinho anymore, is he?
He's now called Savio.
Yeah.
Apparently, he wanted to change because he didn't do that well under the name Savinho, so he thinks just change his name. Do you think? Would you, if you had a bad breakfast show, would you change your name to like Catherine or something?
No, but I do have a nickname.
What is it?
Shanners.
Shanners.
I'm always called that with all my friends, and on the hockey pitch I was Shanners. Shanahan is. Well, I suppose I do just get called Shanahan.
Shanahan's it's a good surname for that kind of stuff. A bit more transfer stuff. Carlos Baleba is vowed to bring trophies back to Manchester United. I mean, this is the player they've been looking for a long time. Legs in that midfield.
Well, they need someone in that midfield, don't they?
Tielemans was really struggling to defend big spaces.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah, because he's not that kind of player. He's not that kind of player where you're saying to him, like Baleba can, like Moses Caicedo, like some of these really energetic defensive midfielders, they can cover so much grass. Baleba is one of those players, so hopefully that could be a real boon for Carrick's men. Enzo Fernandez ready to make a £120 million last-minute switch to Man City. Martin Samuel's writing in the Times today, if you're Chelsea, why would you let Enzo go to Man City? You're just making one of your rivals for that top four, potentially the title, much stronger.
I don't understand why they're selling him. Obviously for the money, but if Chelsea are serious about the title, Martin Samuel's saying here, they won't help the rivals. Nick, we've got one tiny line.
30. He could earn an annual salary of £12 million if Al Hilal strike a deal with Aston Villa in the final week. £12 million a year. Also, I haven't even mentioned this yet, but this is actually quite a big story. Raheem Sterling has been charged with dangerous driving and possession of laughing gas after a car crash earlier this year. Sterling's 31 at the moment. He crashed his Lamborghini in May. He's also been charged with failing to provide a specimen, and he's due in court in September. So,
wow,
Raheem Sterling in a little bit of hot water.
On the front page of The Sun as well. Nick Ellaby, thank you very much for now. Katie Shanahan here with you this Wednesday morning. You are listening to Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT, sponsored by Costa Express. Get a regular Costa Express drink as part of your Tesco meal deal at participating Tesco stores. T's and C's apply. Up next, we'll have the front pages and get Sports Bar's reaction to that shocking result for Celtic. Good morning.
We ain't back, are we?
No.
We ain't back.
No,
I'm a bit worried, mate. I'm a bit worried now.
You're taking 10th? You consider... Okay, give me this. I'm giving you 10th now. Are you considering it?
Maybe. Yeah, I might put...
Mate, at 7:30 on Saturday, you might be taking both arms off.
Oh, God. You know what I was worried about, right? We made all these signings.
What part are you worried about?
No, I mean, the front three is just so bad. I can't believe that front three. It was unbelievable. Mikey Moore, Tell and Richarlison. The team looked worse than last season. Like, when you actually looked at it, Spurs' team looked worse than last season. The only player you'd say in there was Tonali, where we paid 100 million for him, right?
Toenail.
But, really...
Tonali.
Van Hecker and Senesi at the back, right? Van der Ven is better than Senesi. Van Hecker had a bit of a stinker. Romero, on his day, is better than Van Hecker, all right? Archie Gray is not as good as Porro. And left back Robertson, okay, I thought he'd done all right, but we need a bit more from him. But it's first game.
What about Slipsky?
The front three was it was awful.
What about Slipsky?
Yeah, he didn't have his best afternoon, did he?
He lumped the ball up to Richarlison. Richarlison trying to win a cheap free kick.
It wasn't ideal, mate. It was a bad start. It really was.
Well, do you know what, Jay? It's about things. Say things can only get better. Maybe they could get worse.
Ever fancied having a beer in the stands while watching your team at the Emirates, or at Anfield, or at Stamford Bridge? Well, this season you actually can. Drinking alcohol in the stands at Premier League games may still be illegal, but the Women's Super League is doing something different. And here's how we got there. Back in the 1980s, football had a serious image problem. The sport was plagued by violence, pitch invasions and beer-fuelled chaos. Then, in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed. But despite attempts to change things over the years, authorities just haven't been convinced fans can be trusted. But in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. As a result, select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are now allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move showing growing trust in fans and recognising that women's football is building its own culture. So could the men's game be the next to leave the 1980s behind? Well, maybe, if fans can prove they can handle a pint without pitching it at someone. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Until then, it's Bovril all around. Cheers to that.
A very good morning. You are listening to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, this morning. We are building up to the breakfast show with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoist. Well worth a listen this morning, especially after that bruising defeat by Celtic last night. 4-0 up on aggregate and then ended up losing 5-4. So I'm sure Ali McCoist will be winding Alan Brazil up this morning. 6 a.m, the boys will be here for the breakfast show. They'll also be looking into lots of boxing for you on the programme. Right, some more of the headlines you're waking up to this Wednesday morning. We understand that Liverpool are mulling over a third bid for Brighton winger Yakuba Minter. Brighton have slapped a £30 million price tag. It comes after they rejected two offers from Liverpool of 50 million and 60 million. Rory McIlroy believes the PGA Tour are giving fans what they want by introducing match play to the end of season playoffs. From 2028, the Tour Championship will be played across 2 weeks at 2 different courses and adopt a head-to-head format. And new Newcastle boss Matthias Jaisler is well aware of the importance of the Carabao Cup to the Toon Army. After a difficult draw with Liverpool in the Premier League, Jaisler is looking forward to starting a cup run.
First of all, it's a big competition due to the history of the club. We are aware of that, and I'm looking forward already to play that round. Important now is first, after an hour from the final whistle, that we get the thing sorted. We analyze the game. We see the availability of the players. There were now many players who were exhausted. Some of them has minor injuries, so we need to see who's available, and then we meet.
Well, Newcastle host Championship side West Brom, live on talkSPORT tonight. For more on all the day's biggest stories, all you need to do is go to talksport.com. Right, our top story on Early Sports Breakfast today is, was that Celtic's worst result in their history? They blew a 4-goal lead to crash out of Champions League qualifying. This was away to Austrian side Lask. Celtic eventually lost 5-1 on the night, so therefore 5-4 on aggregate. And as you can imagine, two people that were keeping across this on Sports Bar, Jason and Jamie, could not believe it.
What are they doing? They're winning 4-0.
Mate,
How can you lose a game when you're winning 4-0?
This is one of the biggest disasters in Celtic's history. One of the biggest disasters.
Oh my! It's
certainly in modern times.
Fortune.
Yeah, it has. To go, he just said there, right? They haven't won the last 11 games. They turned Celtic over 5-1 tonight, and they were losing 4-0. That is
That's one of the worst results in Celtic's history.
It has to be.
Worst results.
It has
ever.
to be.
That is unbelievable. Oh my God! I can't believe what I've watched.
No, me neither.
Yeah, it's certainly got to be up there with one of the worst results in Celtic's history. Alan Brazil, I'm sure, will get stuck into that on breakfast this morning. Right, thanks so much for getting in touch in the show. Today we're talking about whether you've overpaid for something when it was due. Regret it. This is after Nottingham Forest agreed. We're hearing around £50 million deal for Liam Delap. This is from Chelsea. Liam Delap, who scored 2 goals in around 41 appearances for Chelsea last season. You feel as though he's going to have a point to prove. But we've got here from Tom. I paid £115 for Arsenal against Spurs. We were 2-0 up at half-time. And in the second half, Gareth Bale showed up and we lost 3-2. Overpaid. I may as well have rolled it up and smoked it. That's from Tom. Thank you so much. This is also from Darren in St Helens. Law listener. Good morning, Darren. He goes, hello. Overpaid for my gas and electric. Yes, that's certainly, yeah. I remember overpaying for, remember there was, handbags or maybe treatments that I just, in the moment, you just think, especially when you go abroad, it's like Monopoly money. Definitely overpaid, or someone said, oh, yeah, it's this. And you go, yeah, all right, trust you. Okay, so thank you so much for those texts coming in this morning. Okay, now it is time for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move.
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast.
talkSPORT.
Start with a warning from the RAC. Seriously, this is actually quite serious stuff. The RAC says danger of accidents on slippery roads due to rain mixing with oil and fuel deposits will be much greater right now after the prolonged dry spell. We've had all these heat waves. Now we're looking at flash flooding.
Which I suppose, Augusts have turned into that, haven't they? It's been like a tropical August, a wet. I normally think of August as quite wet, and then it's glorious in September.
Hopefully. Well, yeah exactly.
Is this one of the main stories in one of the front pages?
Well, listen, I'll choose what the main stories are, thanks.
Yeah.
And, for me, it's gonna absolutely.
It's gonna rain.
Hammer it down today. There are yellow weather warnings in place across the southeast. 20 to 30 millimetres in an hour, potentially 40 to 50 in a few spots.
I don't mind a bit of rain, though. Anyone else out there? Text 81089. I feel as though there's been so much sun. Everyone's grass is yellow.
Yeah, of course, we need it.
We need the rain.
Absolutely. You know, grass doesn't die. It's incredible. No, but it's amazing.
It's just there, like...
No, it's like, you can't really kill it off. It just sort of goes dormant. And then
and then it's back. Like dry and yellow.
Absolutely incredible. Be careful out there on the roads today, guys, because, could be a few little problem spots. Also, after this hot summer we've had, there's not enough cider.
Oh, I love my cider. I love my cider, yeah.
So what cider do you drink? Your favourite cider? Do you like a scrumpy? Or
I like an Aspel. But I can't have too much Aspel because it's quite, it would probably have about 1.5.
It's quite punchy.
I like a lager shandy, me, though. But you know that.
I know that. Cider production's gone flat after orchards were decimated by the summer-long drought.
It's gone flat. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Your cider of choice?
Inch is quite nice. I'll drink anything, to be honest. I quite like a scrumpy. You know, when you get like a proper, have you been down the West Country and it's like cloudy, and then when you get to the end of the barrel, it's about 13% down there because it all just keeps fermenting in the barrel. We've got to give a shout out to Dolly Parton, who's died aged 80. Absolute legend. A lot of people just saying sort of what an incredible person she was. You know, all the money she got from I Will Always Love You, the Whitney Houston remake. I mean, she made she wrote that. She wrote these songs, 9 to 5, Jolene. She wasn't just singing them. She made so much money from that. And she opened a huge mall in a black area, I think in maybe Atlanta. And she always called it like, this is the house that Whitney built. She paid for the vaccines. She put money into vaccines during COVID in the US. So, we've lost not only an incredible musician, but a real philanthropist. So massive shout out to Dolly Parton. You got a favourite Dolly Parton song?
9 to 5, obviously.
Well, we'll play a bit of that in a bit.
Oh, great.
And also, Paul Gascoigne's water bottle from that famous dentist chair celebration Euro 96 is going up for auction. How much would you pay for that? Would you overpay for that?
Maybe.
I've got that celebration on a T-shirt.
Have you? How much did you pay for that?
But that T-shirt was pretty cheap. It's a great company called The Art of Football that are based in Nottingham. When I bought it, they were quite a small company, and I think they've really grown since then. But it's got McManaman and Shearer and also Jamie Redknapp squirting that bottle into Gazza's mouth after he scored that incredible flick over the head finish against Scotland in Euro 96. Apparently, the auction's estimating that would go for £200 to £300. So I think
I'd be go for a bit more than
£300.
That, maybe 500.
So get in there.
Get in there. I can get involved and go buy that bottle.
One final huge tribute as well to Billy Boston, rugby league legend, the first rugby league player to be knighted, age of 92. Apparently just outlived his wife, Lady Joan. He's a Welsh guy, played for Wigan, like Wigan royalty. And he's also, next time you're at Wembley, go and have a look at the statue of all the rugby league players. So Billy Boston is there with Martin Offiah, Ellery Hanley and a couple of other legends, and there's 5 great rugby league players immortalised in a statue. So Billy Boston was one of them, who's just passed away as well at the age of 92. So yeah, and just finally, are you allergic to any animals?
I'm allergic to shellfish.
Or if you eat them?
Absolutely. I will go to the hospital.
Could you pick up a lobster?
No. But apparently lobsters are fatal.
You can't even touch it?
I don't know, I haven't. Because I said it's fatal, I don't really want to die.
It's not like an anaphylactic shock where
It's not an anaphylactic, but you know Will Smith in Hitch, and his face just blows up. That is literally me.
Yeah.
If I
I'm like that with
have
horses.
shellfish. You're like that with?
Horses.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't checked for a while, but you know...
Thing, how do you know when to check? Well, they said to me, if you want to check, come into hospital and we will feed you a prawn and we'll see what happens.
Tiny bit of prawn. Well, Gabby Roslin has got a new show called The Joy of Pets. How old do you reckon Gabby Roslin is from the old... Remember from the Big Breakfast
Yes,
days?
absolutely.
Quick guess at her age?
I used to be on the same radio.
Did you?
As her, yeah. I reckon she's late 40s, 50s.
62.
Oh, wow. She looks amazing then.
She does look good.
There we go.
She's allergic to dogs and cats. So that'll be tricky for her as she presents a show called The Joy of Pets.
Yes.
But good luck to Gabby anyway.
I love dogs and cats and programmes like that. There's plenty out there. You don't have any pets, do you?
No.
Would you get a dog?
Because I live in a flat, it's not fair. If I had a house with...
If you had a massive mansion, would you have lots of dogs?
Couple. Yeah,
3?
I quite like beagles.
I love beagles.
You're supposed to have more than one because
apparently they're quite stubborn and grumpy.
Well, you're not supposed to have one because they're pack animals. So you're supposed to have 2 or 3 because they get a bit crazy. Maybe that's why they're stubborn and grumpy. They get a bit crazy if they haven't got their mates around.
You know which dogs always make me laugh when I walk past them? Corgis. I love corgis. I can't help but laugh at just corgis. I think they're great.
Like a little cloud. No, I like the word.
The Queen loved them.
I would have a dog
corgis
if
make me
I
laugh.
had the space.
Yes.
Anyway.
I actually saw a corgi birthday. I kid you not. It was near Battersea Park. I went to a pub and there were 20 corgis and there was this corgi up on a table with a little birthday hat and it had candles and they were celebrating the corgi's birthday.
Very posh area of London.
Very posh.
Yeah, right.
It was very funny. Right, Nick Ellaby, that was a look at the front pages. If you're just waking up being, what on earth are they talking about? Which people in the street do say. I woke up the other day, you were talking about baked beans at 6:15 in the morning. But that was a look at the front pages. You are listening to Early Sports Breakfast this morning on talkSPORT, sponsored by Costa Express. Get a regular Costa Express drink as part of your Tesco meal deal at participating Tesco stores. T's and C's apply. Katie Shanahan here with you this Wednesday morning. It is 5:43. Up next, we'll be looking ahead to another brilliant night of Carabao Cup action. Good morning.
Would you both have expected better than what you saw from Tottenham? And I think the answer
I'm
to
not
that
surprised
is,
that they lost.
Oh, yes.
I'm not surprised that they lost, but the
Not
manner...
taking anything away from Brentford, though.
No, the manner in which they lost surprised me.
Right.
There didn't seem to be any
Right.
fight or any change in gear, or the mindset hasn't changed. It's exactly the same. A soft underbelly from Spurs, and they're going to have to eradicate that very quickly.
And both of you think they'll do one hell of a lot better than 17th.
Well, they've,
so
with
do you
the players
still
they're now
have
buying,
heightened
yes.
expectations that they might be top half? Then they might be top 6.
No, I'm thinking top half of the table. I'm not saying they're going to be, it would be a surprise. They could do 6th, 7th, but they're going to have to improve massively, Jim, from what we saw at the weekend. And where are these players that have been injured for so long? Look, there's an awful lot of players.
Fit, isn't he?
Van der Ven wasn't available, Jim. You look at the back four, there's hardly anybody playing from last season. So, they're facts, but get them fit then. Let's get them out there.
We saw Newcastle yesterday and how they went about it. We saw... They're at home, yeah. But we saw Tottenham and how they went about it. It was chalk and cheese.
But I think this is great for De Zerbi because he'll sort the wheat from the chaff. And for me, I don't have any expectation of Tottenham. They're not my football club. So, I don't particularly admire their board and I don't particularly like their manager. So I don't have an objective view. So I'm quite happy to see them struggle. But that's me being mean-spirited. But you would, from the Tottenham fans, who are plenty of my friends are Tottenham fans, you've gone to Brentford. You've been battered. You could have got beat 7.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been a surprise because they were that dominant. They missed the penalty. They had other chances, Brentford.
Here's that. Next March, the England cricket team face Australia in the 150th anniversary Test match down under. And as always, the Barmy Army will be there. And thanks to talkSPORT, Visit Victoria could be too. Enter now at talksportwin.com for the chance to score an incredible week-long trip for 2 to watch the 150th anniversary Test match in Melbourne with Visit Victoria and the Barmy Army. Enter now at talksportwin.com and get ready to experience the electric atmosphere that only a Barmy Army tour delivers.
Very good morning. You are listening to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Katie Shanahan. How are you feeling this Wednesday morning? We are playing a Dolly Parton this morning, hopefully. There we go. There she is.
To the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try.
What a song this is. Everyone's dancing behind the glass.
Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping out on the street.
Of course, we are playing a bit of Dolly Parton this morning after the sad death of the country music legend at the age of 80. And I'm sure Alan Brazil will have a good sing-along this morning. She is across all the papers. Oh, what a legend Dolly Parton was. Lots of beautiful photos of her. And she's given us so many amazing memories and music over the years. And so we're celebrating her this morning on talkSPORT Breakfast, which is coming up for you in just over 10 minutes' time. Alan Brazil and Ali McCoy will be here. They'll get into, the disaster that happened in Austria regarding Celtic. They were 4-0 up on aggregate, ended up losing 5-4 if you're just waking up this morning. Yes, that happened. One of the worst defeats you would think in their history. As for tonight, there are 4 more Carabao Cup games. There were plenty that we were treated to last night. Now, remember, it goes straight to penalties if it's level on 90 minutes. And talkSPORT will keep you right across the action.
Brentford 3, Spurs 0. Spurs defending, I have to say, up front they haven't been great, at the back they've been appalling, and they're being made to pay for it.
To become team, to fight, to be stronger in the duels is very quickly to do.
Campbell into the area now, puts it in the bottom corner. What a finish! Tyrese Campbell, 3 in 3, and a second at London Stadium for Charlton Athletic.
The Carabao Cup delivering yet again on talkSPORT.
Anthony Elanga, he's clear. Elanga! What a time to pick your moments! Price goes for goal. Oh, that's magnificent. Isaac Price has just scored a beauty to turn it around for West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, we were treated to plenty of goals in the Carabao Cup action, and it continues tonight. You've got 7 o'clock talkSPORT kickoff. Got a Carabao Cup special for you. Adrian Durham will be across that one alongside Dean Ashton and Ben Mee. Live games for you tonight include 7:45. Got Tottenham against Charlton. Tottenham trying to bounce back after that 3-0 bruising defeat to Brentford. That's the Carabao Cup second round game here on talkSPORT. And then over on talkSPORT 2, you've got Newcastle up against West Brom in the second round of the Carabao Cup. Commentary from Sam Matterface, who's alongside the fabulous Lucy Ward. So they will be bringing you commentary of that one. As for Tottenham then, Roberto De Zerbi says his team must get a winning mentality quickly, and it needs to start against Charlton in the League Cup tonight. They've spent over £300 million this summer, but were shocked 3-0 by Brentford in the Premier League on Saturday. And De Zerbi says things will improve.
We have to find the condition to become team quickly. We started the project right now, not last season. Last season we fought to stay up, and this season it started to become better. It's not like this. Maybe, I hope, I want.
Yeah, we're only a couple of games in. Oliver Glasner saying a similar story after losing back-to-back against Leeds. Darren Bent even said that he thinks Tottenham are worse after spending £300 million. Haven't got to the best of starts. Looking not the best, are they? That bruising 3-0 defeat to Brentford. Jamie O'Hara, I think, is going to get it this season. But, they need to improve from the following two campaigns, finishing 17th, especially after spending that amount of money. Well, also, Jamie O'Hara has been rating his top 5 talkSPORT presenters. This was on Sports Bar last night. Did I make it?
Do it in order. All right, how many? Top 5?
I'm not sure I'll make it.
Yeah, I do.
I think I missed.
You're at number 5.
Yeah.
Then I would go.
Oh, Jay.
Oh, you're putting me right under the gun.
I know, but you need to top 6. I might.
Simon Jordan at 4.
I'm not making rules here, mate.
Then I would go.
I'm not making. Put yourself right under the.
Ali McCoist. Then
no, mate.
Adrian Durham.
Oh, you missed that. No.
And then Alan Brazil.
H&J. H&J.
I love that he just didn't put Jason in there. Probably just to wind him up. We are also, thanks so much for all your texts coming in this morning. We are talking about when you've overpaid for something. This is following Celtic's terrible results, where I'm sure they'll have plenty of regrets after this. We've got here, hi Katie, this is from Ronnie the Gooner. Hi Katie, goodness me, you spent £17 for a glass of wine at the weekend in Covent Garden. When I asked why it was so much, the barman said it's because it's organic. I asked for the non-organic version, but they didn't sell it. £17 for a glass of wine. That is a lot. Also, we've had... good morning, Katie. This is Mark, the Liverpool fan. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Katie. Chelsea have finally sold a player instead of buying one. Amazing. So Liam Delap is the latest one to leave Chelsea for around £45 million. He goes over to Nottingham Forest. Also here, we've got Hello Katie, fellow Gooner here, up the Gunners. I recently overpaid for PlayStation 5 Pro one day after Trump raised prices because of the war in Iran. I don't want the news, so I had no idea. I don't watch the news, so I had no idea. Just 24 hours late cost me an extra £120. Felt like a fool. That's from Chris in Old Windsor. Good morning, Chris. And we've had this lovely message here from Kate. Good morning, lovely Katie. Nick and the team from Kate in beautiful Bolton. With reference to Dolly, this is after the passing of Dolly Parton. I worked in a very large company in reception, and every Friday morning at 9 a.m. I played Dolly's 9 to 5 to remind all the managers that their big meeting was about to start. Oh, that's lovely. That's from Kate in beautiful Bolton. Thanks so much for all those texts coming in this morning. We've also got this text here. This is more about getting caught overpaying for something with my mate. He paid £1,150 for 2 rods. When he got home, he walked in with the fishing rods. His girlfriend said, "How much you pay for that?" £300, he replied. After 5 minutes, his girlfriend walked into the kitchen and was holding up the receipt. I said, "See you later, mate." And her just go, "Oh my goodness, £1,150 for 2 fishing rods." She thought he definitely had overpaid. That's from Steve from Plymouth. Wow, that is a lot of money. Also, I think you just need to own up to that, because someone's going to find the receipt, aren't they? It was also, just returning back to the football, a great win for Leeds last night, who beat Nottingham Forest for the second time in 4 days. Fair play to Leeds. Daniel Farke, the manager, told us he's not getting too carried away with Leeds' great start to the season, this time in the Carabao, as they beat them in the Carabao Cup last night.
As much as I like our performance today, and also like that we're excited about a really good start to the season, so I think it's important to stay humble and stay grounded. So it's for each every team who is in the cup and still in the cup the chance also to win it. But it was just more or less our first appearance, and we have to show this if you want to win something with consistency. Also against some strong teams, it's perhaps not realistic. But I mentioned several times before, you don't start to play football just to reach realistic targets, and for that, if there's a chance, of course, we go for it, but it's early doors, and for that, we are not too carried away.
Almost time for talkSPORT Breakfast, so just time to play you this. Liam Delap has now moved to Nottingham Forest for around £45 million, and on Tuesday's show, Jeff Stelling questioned whether Liam Delap was really worth Chelsea's valuation of around £45 million. Here you go.
Of course, you know, we're looking at each other when Nick read that valuation out of Liam Delap. And it's not that I don't like Liam Delap, but explain to me in which universe is a player that you sign for £30 million and he scores one goal, one Premier League goal for you, suddenly worth £50 million?
There we go. There we go. Got the right mark there. So Jeff Stelling not thinking that Liam Delap... I mean, he scored 2 goals in 41 appearances for Chelsea last season. I don't think he's also worth that much. But hey, you can't predict the transfer market. Plenty. I also don't think there's a number here saying 135 million for Bradley Barcola. PSG are asking Liverpool. So, gosh, there's lots of money rolling around at the moment. OK, lots more coming up on talkSPORT Breakfast today. Joining Alan Brazil and Ali McCoist, we have got Matt Root, father of Joe Root. He's going to be on the show to discuss Joe's return to England captaincy ahead of the second test with Pakistan at Lord's tomorrow. Former Cruiserweight World Champion Johnny Nelson will preview Moses Atauma's world title fight this weekend. And former Manchester United captain Brian Robson will look ahead to Michael Carrick's opening day defeat against Hull City and the prospects ahead of the new campaign. You've been listening to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan, this morning. Alan Brazil and Ali McCoist are on the way next. Have a great day and I'll see you soon.
Love affair with Daniel Levy, he just really makes me laugh. I think
what, laugh in a good way? I'm here to amuse you.
No, I just think it's embarrassing, and I'm sure Simon and Daniel Levy must have gone on holiday together this year and shared a room, because he's embarrassing. And
why is it embarrassing?
Because I think he should be the 5th member of the In-Betweeners.
Which one's the 5th one?
The 5th? No, you're the 5th one.
I know, but which one is the 5th one? If you're going to insult me, get me the details.
You're the 5th one. You're the 5th one.
I know you, Wally, but which one is the 5th one? Which characters? Oh, you're making a character for me. Got it.
Yeah, every time you mention Levy, they go...
Yeah, but you don't listen, do you? Because what you've got is your own preordained bias. What I keep on saying is that the ownership model that Daniel Levy worked within is the same ownership model that exists now. I don't care whether Daniel Levy's in charge of Tottenham Hotspur or not. I didn't always like Daniel when I was dealing with Tottenham back in the day when I owned Palace, but I've grown a healthy respect for him because I think he's a good operator. But you guys are listening to a new ownership model, which is not a new ownership model. It's the exact same. And the only point I keep making, while you guys keep on saying, "Oh, you're up Levy's backside," is that, hang on, get some balance in your thoughts, because you don't have any balance. That's all I do.
All right, let me finish then. Let me finish, yeah?
Go on,
all right. You're like, every time you mention him, it's like, oh, friends, Daniel Levy, oh,
special friends.